Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Step one, thank everyone for watching and listening to New Life Live. Okay, thank you for watching and listening to New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and we've got some great topics to discuss today. Licensed marriage and family therapist Chris Williams is here, and so is CPE Dr. Jill Hubbard. That stands for Clinical Psychologist Extraordinaire.
Yes, I love it.
Great to be in the studio with you. And Dr. Jill, how shall we start the hour?
I don't know. How shall we start? Let's talk about one of my favorite Bible verses. And last time we were together, Chris, you were talking about some things about the heart.
Yes, the heart.
Well, I am also going to touch on that. One of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs 4:23. I love this verse, and I love so many of the different translations of it. So guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Keep the heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. And guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it is the wellspring of life. So I love all those different versions, and it has been a verse, I think, kind of lifelong, or from when I was a young adult, that helped me. And I always remember our dear Steve Arterburn always saying that our feelings have a point, but they aren't the whole point. And often when I think of the heart, I think of our feelings and how so much of the time, you know, you've always met those people that are all heart and it seems like no head, and then the people that are all head and no heart. And we know there's a mind, body, and heart connection. And as we proceed in life, we want to use wisdom, right? This is from dear King Solomon. I don't know if he was dear or not, but he was certainly
we'll refer to him as dear
wise,
King Solomon,
right?
yes.
He was very wise, but he didn't follow his own advice, and in the end, right, his feelings, temptation, sin, and the influence of others got the best of him. So often I hear from young women that allow their feelings to choose their decisions. And they put themselves out there in the hopes of something good and end up getting something far less, right? We all know women give their bodies to get love, and men give love to get our bodies, right? And so it's important to be wise with our hearts. So the guarding part, it doesn't mean steel walls, right? It means proceed with caution. Diligence. We need to have some discipline and some intentionality with our heart. So we proceed with caution. Often I'll say, you know, take a step, then stop and pause and reflect. And that's important to do, especially with matters of the heart. And the ancient Jewish scholars looked at that as like moral reasoning comes from the heart, the will comes from the heart. It's not just feelings. It's really the center of so much.
And the core desires.
Yes, absolutely. And so we have to be wise. So many don't know this, but recently I opened my heart back up to love. And I remarried recently. And that was, it was a long time coming. But I did need to guard my heart, and I had children that I chose to put first before that path for myself. And so making decisions with intentionality, thinking about where we want to go, but also not ignoring those feelings, because it's wonderful.
That's so good. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because I just think that, part of that guarding of the heart I also think about is be careful what you let in.
Yes.
And Jill, you did such a good job by not letting in other distractions as you had the intentionality of raising your kids, and now open your heart back up and look at how God provided.
And he sure did.
All right. That's awesome. We're going to go to the phones in just a moment. Jane, Sarah, Francis, you're all coming up today here on New Life Live.
I became aware that my husband had had an affair. He was viewing porn on the computer. I was totally unaware of anything like sex addiction. Through the workshop, I truly believe my soul has been restored. The workshop educated me about what sex addiction was. It also gave me courage. I learned how to stand up for myself. Without a doubt, it was the most significant thing that I did.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Washington, D.C. November 7th to the 9th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
That workshop is where I found the tools and the people to heal from this most heartbreaking thing of my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Jane says she listens to us on WBYN in Reading, Pennsylvania, and here she is. Hi there, Jane. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet. What's going on? How can we help you?
So, I'll ask the question, give you details, and then I want to hear what you have to say, please. So, my question is, how do you reach forgiveness from the heart? Not just language, not just words, but how do you penetrate that forgiveness to the heart? No idea. So building up to 6 years ago, best friend died in a house fire, handled it all, planned all the memorial for out-of-town family, never paid attention, just did it. A year and a half ago, my best friend of over 30 years babysat her son. Her husband passed when the son was in kindergarten, so he grew up with my guys and got into drugs, and a year and a half ago murdered her, suffocated her to death.
So hold on.
Wait. You have
Jane,
two friends that died tragically?
Yeah, who murdered who again?
My best friend's son, who grew up with my children, murdered his mother.
So this is different than the friend who died in the house fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had two friends,
Wow.
husband and wife, died in the house fire.
Okay.
So I stuffed that one. We scatter ashes this weekend, so now it's coming back. And for one part of the reason I'm calling. But then the one when the son suffocated my best friend. Okay? Same thing. Out-of-town family, had to track them down, had to tell them, plan the memorial, got her dressed for the family, just got through it, flew through it, didn't think about it. I get a letter from the son who murdered her. Please, can you connect with my 6-year-old son, teach him about Jesus, teach him what you taught me, take him to church, please. And I'm like, wow, okay, you did this, you want this. Brain-wise, I know I have to forgive, but I can't do it I don't know how to put it in the heart and be released of whatever's inside. Yeah, I'm stuck.
Chris, weren't you talking about this last week, about love having to be sincere?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember when a much different situation, and don't want to compare them because it's apples and oranges, but a similar thing. And I remember talking to, it's actually my sponsor, my 12-step sponsor, and I said, forgiving this person in my life seems impossible. And his response to me was, it was, and it is. And he says, and I told him, well, it doesn't make sense. And then he had this statement that stuck with me forever. He said, does God on a cross make sense? I said, not at all. He said, yeah, you can't do it without God. God's got to do a deeper work in our hearts to be able to do that, and that's going to take time. And a lot of that deeper work is similar to what you were talking about at the beginning of the show, is guarding the heart. But this time we got to work through the heart. The heart can't forgive because the heart, you said it well, Jane, it's stuck.
Wow.
It's stuck in anger. It's stuck in sadness. It's stuck in that confusion, in that baffling nature of what has happened. And we talk about it often here. Grief is cumulative. It builds up over time. So your heart not only may be carrying the grief of your friend who was murdered, but also the friend who was lost in the fire, and who knows what else is in there.
You mentioned both of those. And here are people really close to you, and you were intimately involved. And with this last friend, the fact that your kids and her kids were together growing up. So this is like another son to you, almost. This
that's
kid,
a really good point,
right?
Jill. Yeah.
And how horribly tragic, and just highlighting what drugs do to a person and how it changes a person's mind and what can happen in those states. You said you've been stuffing things. Jane, it's what a lot of people do to get by, to get through things, because to feel the full impact is too much when you've got tasks to do. And that's why there often appears to be delayed grief for people. It's like after all the flowers are gone, the business stuff has been taken care of, all of the distractions that we have to do around death, and then you're alone with your feelings. And forgiveness is a really hard thing, Jane. And sometimes we have to forgive like daily, because there are new hurts and new feelings and new ripple effects that come from such horrible, tragic losses. And so grief is one of the keys to your heart, that you really have to grieve the loss of this. And we don't have to call this good, what the son did. It is
not at all.
good.
No.
Now, God will bring good out of it, but it is not good at all. It was horrific. And so I think we start with obedience. God, every day I'm going to give this to you, and help me not to take it back. And I'm just going to be obedient right now, because I don't want to be the judge and jury. And it also doesn't mean, Jane, that you forget or that you never ever have bad feelings again towards this kid. But you're asking God, but please soften my heart so that my anger and upset aren't a noose around my own neck forever, right? And so, go ahead.
Really, if I can interject,
sure.
Please. So here's the crazy part. I can't even be mad at him. I know who he was before drugs. I know who he is now, clean.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to be mad at him. I'm sad.
Okay.
But nothing connects. Nothing connects.
Well, that makes sense.
That does make sense,
because you're it's what we call ambiguous grief, or ambiguous anger at this point. But let me ask you this, Jane: can you be angry at addiction? Can you be angry at drugs?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I hate it.
Okay, there you go. You found it. That's what then you work through.
Because the anger is part of the grief process.
Yes.
So it is important that you get in touch with some of your anger towards him, and towards anything that you can be angry about in this, because it was wrong, it was horrific, and to even hate him as a drug addict, to be angry at him as a drug addict, that is okay. But I love that you're recognizing he's not the same person.
Yeah.
The drugs really hijacked him and brought out the worst evils in him.
Well, and I didn't finish last week when I shared, Confessions with Chris. I shared the verse, love must be sincere.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the verse.
Okay, what comes next, Chris?
Hate what is evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cling to what is good.
Be angry about evil.
Yes. So we see that, for love to be sincere, we also have to hate what is unlove, evil. And we have to cling to what is good. But to your point, Jill, that is a daily, lifelong process. We're gonna have to work that out over and over and over again, because we also want to make sure that this 6-year-old who had nothing to do with any of this is well taken care of.
The forgiveness comes in. Okay, if you love on this 6-year-old, that is in a sense that obedience, Jane, and you sincerely forgiving.
Yeah.
Jane, thanks for calling in today to New Life Live. We're going to send you a registration for our webinar coming up in about 2 weeks. It's called Coping with loss. It's a grief webinar. The holidays are going to be here soon, and you've got a lot of grief going on. And so we're going to send you a registration for that webinar. So stay on the phone. And if you want to register, you still can. It's happening November 13th. Go to newlife.com. It's less than $20 per person.
And I just want to make a shout out to another resource in our library, and that is Forgiving What You'll Never Forget.
I was thinking that too, Chris, by Dr. Stoop. It's a good
the late
one.
great Dr. Stoop, man, that is a great one. So if you're out there, you hear this, you're just like, yes, I resonate with that.
Yeah.
Check out our online store and Forgiving What You'll Never Forget by Dr. David Stoop.
For sure. Okay, let's go to Louisville, Kentucky for our first of 2 calls from Louisville. We're number 1 in Louisville. I love it. Francis, listening on Sirius XM channel 131. Welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you.
Hello. How can we help you?
Well, I don't really even know where to start.
Well, what's your main question? Let's start there.
Okay. I have a son that's told us that he's transgender back in June of 2023. He has disconnected us from his life, his 3 half-siblings, his grandmother, all of his friends he had in high school and everything. He married a lady that was 6 years older than her, and online they met, and my husband saw her profile, and she had some witch signs. My husband and I are Christians. My son is a Christian. He's been baptized. I don't know where all this came from. I have no idea. He's 26 years old now. Anyway, during this process, I mean, Dr. Phil wouldn't even take this, but we found out that he also has a son that was 2 years old when I found out in October of 2023. They live in Indiana. We live in Kentucky. So
is this son, is your grandson part of this union? Or
yes.
Where? Okay.
Yes, the grandson, yes, is my son's son. Okay. So, anyway, we start developing this relationship with the girl and the grandson. I get a DNA test because my son would not do that. And he is 99.9% our grandson.
Okay.
So, anyway, then in October of 24, the girlfriend, well, she used to be a girlfriend, the girl decides that she only wants us to see our grandson like once a week or once a month on FaceTime.
Okay.
And I just thought it was awful weird, that she did that. So anyway, we'll come to find out she has a boyfriend. And so they were married in February of this year. So
wait, I'm confused.
So she has a boyfriend in
bit.
addition to your son.
No. My son had a girlfriend. Then they broke up. She was pregnant. She moved back to Indiana.
Oh, okay. So you're
and then we live in Kentucky.
Yeah, no, we got that. So, but the relationship that you've had with your grandson and his mother, this is from a previous girlfriend. Because I was wondering if your son had cut off contact, how were you able to then have this relationship with her? So
no, he's cut off contact with all of his family.
But he's gone with another woman and left behind his son and old girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, so now this relationship that you've developed, which is wonderful that you were able to have this relationship, now she's moving on Is that what you're telling us? And so the contact is becoming less with all of you.
Well, the contact's over.
Okay.
Over.
Jeez.
So
Man, that's
what is it
heartbreaking.
that we can help you with today?
Honey, I don't know. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can't get to him, my son, to even tell him that we love him. And I don't accept transgender, I guess, because I don't believe it. I think it's a fad right now. But if it is, it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to. I just know that me and my husband we just turned it over to God
Yeah.
because we do not want to affect our relationship.
Yeah. All right, Francis, we're coming up to a break. We'll continue our conversation with you and speak with everyone else who's on the line right now here at New Life Live. I'm Brian Perez here with Dr. Jill Hubbard and Chris Williams. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll be right back on New Life Live.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Dallas, Texas, November 7th through the 9th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to
I
help.
came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're speaking to Francis in Louisville, Kentucky. And Dr. Jill Hubbard, what would you say to Francis?
Francis, thank you for the clarification. My heart just goes out to you. You have two. Actually, I think you have two questions because you have two very difficult situations. So you talked about the old girlfriend and your grandson, and to have made contact, realize this is your grandson, and to be forming a connection only to have her pull back. Oh, that's so hurtful, especially on the heels of having really lost your son. And for him to go in a different direction in terms of his gender, and to go off with someone who seems to be leading him away from the values you raised him with. So many multiple layers of loss here. And so it's like, okay, how do you connect with your son and how do you connect with your grandson? And there are no easy answers for this. And so it's a day to day. We were talking about kind of that living grief where your heart is saddened. we heard very loud and clear, though, you have a strong faith, and that's, an important thing because God can do the impossible. And so it's taking opportunities and asking the Lord for opportunities to make contact whenever possible. With your son, I would not go down the track of, okay, this lady is into witchcraft and we don't believe in gender. Your son already knows that. That's why he's not having contact with you. He's obviously is confused and is pushing the envelope on natural boundaries. And I, as much as he seemed to be a kid growing up in the church, I don't know what he held in his heart in terms of how he felt about himself. But so often people try to change what's happening internally with an external solution, as if that's going to be the answer and make them happy. But we do know when you look at how things play out, and we're still seeing this whole trend play out, people are really not happier. It doesn't ward off suicide, as we're told, and people really are not happier in the long run, defying what is natural. I would, with your grandson, and then Chris, I'll let you talk. I would write a letter to the girlfriend and let her know that you care for her, that you care for your grandson, that you are happy for her if she's able to move on with her life, that you certainly do not want to be a hindrance to that, and that you would embrace whoever she has chosen, and that you would love to be an additional set of grandparents that love her son and that are there to walk alongside her.
I think that that's spot on, Jill. I really do. I can only echo that, a letter, phone call, anything, but to reiterate that, because I'm not just seeing this from the grandparent or parent position. I'm seeing this from the kid's position.
Yeah. Yes, he's made a connection.
Yes. I mean, in my own kid's life, they only have one set of grandparents left. And in the meaning and purpose and love that is shared and the care that's given is so special and so important. So hold on to that as much as you possibly can. And just with your son, this is so overwhelming.
Oh,
it's so confusing. Yeah. I want to remind you, Francis, that you didn't cause this.
Right.
There's not something you did or didn't do that, was like, oh, this is why, and it's my fault. Yeah. Letting yourself off the guilt of that is really, really important, and releasing any shame that may come along with it is really, really important. And then you hold on to these incredibly two difficult tensions. One is the grief, the loss of your son, and his requiting of your love. The second aspect of it is that you already mentioned, and that is we still love him. Of course you do. You hold on to the fact that you still love him even though he's requiting it, and you hold on to the grief that you're having to let him go. And staying
in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Not only by estrangement, but by the fact that he's rejecting who he was born to be.
Yeah.
And so you're the one holding the memories of who he has been.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a lot of levels.
And if there's any way that you can jump into, like exploring support groups around that, other families have been in this or going through that situation, knowing that you're not alone and there's support and love and care for you out there.
Yeah, and we often recommend Preston Sprinkle's work.
Yes.
Because he speaks to these issues. He has a book, Embodied, that talks about
the
these
more
things.
Educated you can get on it, the better, for sure. Yeah. So that's Preston Sprinkle's book, Embodied?
Embodied.
Okay,
Yeah, you can find that on Amazon or wherever you find your books. We're going to send you a registration to the Coping with Loss Grief webinar. It's happening Thursday, November 13th, and stay on the phone. Francis will get you all the details on that so that you can attend. And I think a lot of people still can't quite wrap their minds around living grief, because we think of the word grief as something final, like when there's a death, an actual death. So in this situation, it's a loved one who we're hoping will come back around and be in relationship with us, but yet the grief component is just so tough.
Well, Brian, speaking to that, this is really important because we live in an age of social media. So there are more living griefs out there than what we realize because they're put in our face. Let's say you had a strong relationship. It could be a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a marriage, anything like that. that relationship ends. 150 years ago, typically, if they weren't in your community, it was out of sight, out of mind. Now with social media, that living grief is now in your face. You know, if you choose, you know, and I'm the boundaries I have, you know, people in grief around lost relationships put around social media is really important. But it's to understand it's a real thing, it's not a made-up thing, and that it requires more work as a result of it.
Yeah. All right, it's break time on New Life Live. We'll be back in just a moment. Sarah and Heather, we want to speak with you, so stay on the phone, and we'll get to you when we come back here on New Life Live.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
What comes to mind when you hear the phrase life recovery? If you answered, oh, that's for someone struggling with drugs and alcohol. Well, yes, there's that, but life recovery really is for everyone, or at least everyone who has problems. And guess what? That's everyone. Life Recovery is a 12-step program based on a set of biblical principles in addiction treatment that outline a course of action to tackle those problems. For some, it could be drugs and alcohol. For others, it might be sex addiction, overeating, codependency, anxiety, issues with boundaries, lying, people-pleasing. New Life Recovery groups are a safe place to shed the shame and get raw accountability rooted in biblical truth, the shared commitment to eradicate unhealthy behaviors once and for all. If you're tired of settling for less than God's best, visit newlife.com for information on connecting to the right community. And now we're going to go back to Louisville. We've got another call from there. This is Sarah, listening on Sirius XM, channel 131. Hey, Sarah, welcome to New Life Live.
Hi there. Can you hear me? You're cutting out a little bit for me.
Oh, sorry. No, you sound loud and clear.
Oh, dear. I'm only getting little pieces. I'll hang in there. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, go ahead and maybe ask your question right away.
Ask my question, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I have an issue with my son, and you all have been so helpful in the past. And again, another issue has come up. I need to just give you a tiny bit of backstory. He is 24, and he's been married a year. And since he's been married, we've kind of had this broken relationship. And I understand he's leaving and cleaving. I'm trying to grasp that, trying to wrap my mind around that. But there's a bit of grief I'm having with that. And so I very rarely hear from him. My husband and I don't. So the other day, on a week ago, his truck was stolen. which is really our truck. But first thing he did was call Mom. And so I wanted to help him, but at the same time, I felt like a little bit used. The truck is in my name, and I also have a tie to getting it found. But I feel like he is not wanting to put the work into getting it. He is holding out his hand for the check. And I don't know. I just don't want to be making my decision based on what Jill had said earlier. Are my feelings making my decision, or am I making it in a Christian way too?
So again, this is your son.
Give him money, don't give him money.
He's driving your truck. The truck is in your name. The truck got stolen, and he wants you to buy him a new truck or something? Or
Yeah, well, he wants the insurance check for it. I mean, he's paying the insurance on it, but we never gifted him the truck. It was his since high school, but he's been driving it, and in his mind, it's his. He changes the oil. He's bought new tires, but it's a very expensive truck. And so, given the situation that
Sarah?
there's this brokenness.
Sarah, that's what I'm wondering. If the relationship was where you wanted it to be, how would you handle this situation?
Yeah, that's what I'm wrestling with. That's what I'm wrestling with. And the other component is when I've talked to him since it's been stolen, he said he's not going to talk to me. I'm manipulative, and I've asked him if he's handled the things that I can't handle. He needs to, and he says he's too busy. And my generosity meter is going way down. So I feel like there's a lot of anger with that, and I don't want to be dealing with him or his wife from this point of anger. But let me tell you another caveat is when this happened with his sister that she needed a new car, it was in our name. We sold it. We gave her a token amount. And I was telling him, I'm going to give you the full amount for your truck, but I want to tell you that's not how we handled it with your sister.
So,
I don't care.
So let me jump in.
Handled it with her.
Sarah, let me jump in. When it comes to your son, what are you afraid of?
I'm afraid I'm not going to see him.
Okay,
anymore
so
because I'm afraid that he's going to be lost to his wife's family.
Okay, so you can't pay that off. Let me just make sure that that's crystal clear, because there's a pattern here, and I don't want to put this all on you, but there's a pattern here that's established a deep sense of entitlement. And that entitlement, it's like it's not generous if it's angry. A gift is a gift. Why be angry about it? Anger doesn't make any sense. If it's a control factor, if there's a string attached to it, then you start to complicate the relationships. And so even going back to that, you guys never had a clear conversation about the ownership of the truck when it's in your name. And so part of this is going to sound a little bit harsh on my part, but the end goal is, Sarah, for you to take your life back, and fear, as going back to what Jill was saying, I don't want fear to make relational decisions because it makes really poor ones. And that is, son, I am so sorry. We didn't have tough conversations that should have happened a long time ago. And around the truck, around our relationship, around all of these sort of things. And we want to make sure that, we support you and love you well, but we also want to make it crystal clear that we believe that you can make life work. And we believe that you and your wife can make life work. Now, if there's something that comes up and you would like to ask for our help, and I know that that could be risky, and I'm not saying we can always help you. You can ask, but assuming just creates hard feelings. So let's no longer assume, and this is the line, it's the line I'm oftentimes giving to my consulting clients, my corporate clients, is that clarity compels. Confusion repels. And what you need in this relationship is clarity of boundaries of what you're willing to do and not willing to do. The fear that he's going to leave and cleave to his family, his wife's family, and leave, I think is basically a threat that sits over you that keeps in this dangerous relationship of entitlement and feeling taken advantage of or abused.
Right. I think, though, in this honest conversation, I would say, okay, we're going to address the issue with the truck the way we would address it regardless of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But son, I have to be honest with you as well, that we wholeheartedly support you leaving and cleaving. But it has been hurtful, the lack of relationship that we have had. And so we're here to help, certainly when there are problems. But I just need you to know that we're feeling. Help me out here.
But I
think something has to be said about the hurt.
But Jill, that's spot on, because this is what the avoidance of the conversations is just it. Each new phase of adulthood, each new phase of parenting, requires conversations that redefine the relationship.
Well, right, and the fact that I would feel used. I would feel totally used. You're just calling me when something bad happens, and then you're snubbing me the rest of the time, and you feel entitled. Now, I would say it in a much better way.
No, but that's spot on. Yeah,
I might say that.
Yeah,
and it's like there's a responsibility with relationship.
Yes,
we're your parents. We love you, but now you're an adult. You've gone your own way. So there's no entitlement left, right?
Yeah.
Anything that we do for you and give to you is a privilege and a gift. It's not a have to.
Yeah.
And so when you come at us in a way that seems entitled, we have to reflect and say, wow, we must have done something wrong here.
Yeah.
And so that part of the goal is we want to repair relationship. What have we done to cause you to seemingly feel resentful towards us and feel like we owe you something?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. And work through that.
Yeah, and we're going to give you some help on the truck. That's separate. But I can't ignore the elephant in the room.
And how do we redefine that relationship,
Yes.
you know? Because I think, embarrassingly, I look back at my earlier years, my young adulthood years, and I did carry a lot of entitlement towards my parents in that. And resentment if they helped or didn't help. But at the end of the day, it all boiled down to one thing only I could deal with. And that was I feared being able to make it on my own.
Well, see, and that's the thing. And I have this with my own son. And I call him out every time when he talks to me in a way it's like, really? Like, I'm helping you and I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to help you. You're an adult.
Yeah.
And so you don't get to treat me poorly and expect me to help you.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm very clear with him.
Yes. But that's the other thing is like, the other side of that is that but if my parents fed my disbelief in myself, they would be financing a problem, not a solution.
Yeah.
A dependency where they say, no, we believe in you. We believe that the God of your life, that you're going to work this out. If you need help, ask us. We'll see what we can do. We can see what we can't do.
Yeah.
That's how adults handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
Parenting is difficult, isn't it? And that's why we're here at New Life to help you along the way. And there's some things that you've done now, or maybe you did in the past or didn't do in the past, and now years later they come back and you see all these things that are going on, and that's why we are here. We've got so many resources at newlife.com. We've also got a store there with many options to purchase, and one of those options is Take Your Life Back. We're going to send that to Sarah just for calling in today to New Life Live. We'll be back.
Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because you know why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And you know one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch, listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
As people tune in to New Life Live, listen to teachings, or connect with a coach or counselor, your gift makes it possible for them to receive help when they need it most. And right now, because of a $475,000 matching gift, your donation has double the impact. Everyone loves a BOGO deal, right? Buy one, get one free. The New Life matching gift is essentially that, but even better, because you're not just getting an extra sandwich or a free t-shirt, you're giving life, new life, to twice as many people, twice as many families, twice as many generations. Jesus has used this ministry for decades to restore brokenness, and right now we can reach twice as many people. Make your gift go twice as far by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or give online at newlife.com/match. Here is Heather, who listens to us on WAVA in Washington, D.C. Hey, Heather, how can we help you?
Hey, I want to thank you guys. I called like 4.5 years ago during COVID, and Chris, you were on that phone, and Alice and Becky, and it made such an impact on me because my question was, how do I deal with my parents not calling me, being hurt from that all my life? And I don't know if I'm amazed if you remember that, but you gave me some great advice and Alice did too, and yours was you've already lost that relationship. You've already lost that. And that just was so freeing to me. It freed me up and made me realize that I was still cleaving and waiting. And they're in their 80s, and he didn't, so that was so freeing. And
it opened me up. Are things any better with your parents? And I know we're running out of time, so we want to get to today's question, but I'm just wondering.
Okay. So real quick, yes. Well, long story short, I did, I was reaching out. I would call. Well, we were in a hard time, so I couldn't call because I was in such grief, and so I realized that they didn't call me. But it was a God thing because I was freed up then to call and not worry about it. And he did call me once. He was in the hospital. He called. It was an accident. But we had this great closing conversation. A little bit. I know that he passed away 2 months later, so it was a great thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you had that gift.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then I do have a question if there's time.
Yes. Yeah, go for it. No, that's what we want to hear.
Okay. So my big question is, can a church be any healthier than the pastor? I'm working through some things, and I'm trying to figure out if we have to leave this church or stay and help and work things out. There have been uncomfortable red flag moments, with the pastor.
Toward you personally, right?
Yeah, when you say red flag moments, what does that mean? From the pulpit, things you've heard, personal interactions?
Mainly more interactions, and then in Bible study with a mixed group. I mean, the first thing that was a little for me was fine, but it was like he met with coffee with my husband, and then later, just in passing, he was like, "Your husband is hard to figure out." And I remember that sat with me a little funny, but I was okay with that. But the biggest thing is in Bible study, he brought up, we were studying Galatians and doing idols of the heart, and he 5 Sundays in a row he brought up I need to take a cold shower. He brought up there's this one pastor, he brought this up in front of everybody. There's a pastor that, couldn't stop thinking about a woman's breast when she was coming up for communion. And I really have struggled taking communion.
And he's mentioning all this?
Mentioning this from the pulpit and then in Bible study?
No, not from the pulpit, but in the Bible study, which was a mixed group of men and women. And there was another time we were talking. I'm on the vestry, so I'm in leadership. Another time we were talking about something else related to the mercy team, and he just randomly said, I like to cuddle. And I just walked away and tried to figure out how it was related, but I couldn't. It just shocked me. And then a few more other times, and then just a couple weeks ago in Bible study, it was just two women, me and another, and he started doing Romans. He started talking about marketing, and I couldn't tell how it was related because I'd come in late, but he was giving them cigarette marketing plan of the 1930s or whatever, where they market to women. And he actually said the male anatomy, he said phallic symbol, he said the male anatomy word, and used his fingers with.
So he's making all these
So there's ongoing.
comments.
It's not just a random example.
Yeah.
No,
it's like ongoing sexual innuendo.
So you're wondering if you should stay or you should go.
Well, I think I think there's a couple things here. There's a systemic issue, and what I mean a structural issue. What I see in the church abuse cases that I work with is that usually there's a singular authority figure that is largely unaccountable. If there's a singular spiritual authority that is not accounted for, that's a petri dish, because pastors are human beings. And
and they're tempted even more.
Is he married? Is the pastor married?
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
He is married.
And if all and if all of the decision making, if all of the teaching, if all of the pastoring is revolves around that singular person, the answer to your question is absolutely not. The church cannot exceed the health of the pastor because the pastor controls the health. Now, there's other structures where the pastor is truly submitted to a board of elders or to other people and submits themselves to an accountability and a process where they're able to work this out.
And it's not just a mock board.
Yes. No, it's not. It's not a board. It's not a board full of yes men.
Right.
It's a board full of people that is intentionally designed, and this takes a lot of intentionality. Then the health can exceed the pastor because the health is then encompassed by the health of many, not the health of one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so then if there is these comments that make you feel threatened and spiritually unsafe or relationally unsafe, I do think it's important to call that out. This becomes becomes the litmus test. How they respond to that, I think, tells you exactly where you should be and where you should not be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah. Okay.
And Jill, you're
absolutely. So you
perspective
bring
on this.
it to an elder.
Yeah.
Right. You find an elder.
Well, that's the thing.
Go ahead.
We're the elders. We're the vestry. It's a small church. We're the vestry. So I'm.
Well, then you need to confront him on it, or have your husband.
So I need to confront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of love.
Right.
But that there are concerns, right? And that you're there to support him and to make the church the healthiest it can be.
Yeah.
And so if this stuff is leaking out, then it's evidence of things that are going on internally for him. And maybe he needs help. Maybe he struggles. I've known pastors that say, I've had a sexual addiction, right? And so they have a lot of accountability around them. But it's a hard thing for a pastor to
We've
admit.
had many pastors find freedom and recovery and health in every man's battle.
Yes.
And sustaining recovery.
Yes. And we even offer that at a discount for them.
Absolutely.
And we do have an every man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think the fear, and you were talking about fear in relationships and conversations, is that because I've brought other things up to him and he's dismissive and doesn't want to listen and change. So I think my fear is like, okay, maybe we will have to leave, and we do like the people, but yeah, okay.
Well, and maybe it is not just you confronting or just your husband, but that several board members who might be feeling the same thing, right? Bring someone else with
like
you.
a true Matthew 18 process.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe, I mean, it won't be tough. It will be tough to tell your pastor that he might need to go to the Every Man's Battle intensive that we do, but that might be the answer for him. That's all the time we have today. God bless you guys.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.